Hey guys, I'm just walking to the grocery store. So, I just remembered something from like years ago. Back in 2019, I went to Nora Lepo, the restaurant in Gyumri, owned and operated by Syrian Armenians. It's a Syrian restaurant, right? And at that time, it was like 10 o'clock at night and we were being stalked by a white car. And the waitress, she freaked out. So she was like, I'm gonna call the cops. Instead, she ended up calling like the owner. And because I said it out loud, I'm like, the guy looks like a rapist. Like the way he's just opening his windows in the middle of the night, driving up where we're sitting, and just what he was pulling off. So we got his license plate and everything. And the waitress was like, I'm originally from Yerevan, but I've been living here for like 10 years. My husband is Gyumri, and she's like, the guys here, they're just not used to seeing women, you know? So she's like, I'll call the owner. So the owner came. After they saw him, they ran, like drove off, literally. And they drove off. And then they brought like their driver, and he's like, we don't want you to take a cab in case they watch where you live. So they dropped me home, okay? Free of charge, because they said it falls on us. We don't want you to get, be into something dangerous happens to you. Okay, so Uraman, I think it was like 2021 or the end of 2020. They had opened up like this restaurant in between Rustaveli and Shiraz, not Rustaveli. I think it was I forget the name. It's like right next to or across Florence restaurant in Gyumri. So she's working there, the same waitress. So she saw me, she's like, oh my God, she gave me a hug. And she's like, on the house, free coffee, free cake. She introduced me to the manager there. They came and they sat next to me. So they asked me to read their cup. I read their cup because they're like, we know you have psychic powers. Oh my God. And so she just opened up to me about everything. So after that, she's like, you're not alone here, tell that anymore, because I told them like I bought an apartment or I'm about to. So it must have been 2020, the end of 2020. And this is my neighborhood, guys. So then she's like, take my number down. She's like, just know that you have someone here. You always have someone here. And whatever you need, I'll be here for you. She's like, I'll invite you over, but we don't know if we're staying here or if we're going to go to Russia. So I never contacted her because I went through my own share of problems. And time went by, I went back to the restaurant. And the manager told me that her and her husband and her family moved to Russia. I was like, really? Because the way she was talking was like, she's so patriotic, So anyways, so I was like, oh, okay. So every time I would go to that restaurant, the manager would love sitting next to me. I'd say, come and just chill with me, Anyways, and then I found out one of this old employee from this bar that I did photo shoot, he was working there as well. Now they closed down. They're somewhere else. But she sent me, I think her name was, I can't remember. I think, because there's a few Armenians, and I don't want to mix them up. And the Armenians, they all love me. So that name, all the females, they love me. The older women. When I say older, I don't mean old, just older than me. So I'm like in front of the grocery store, but I'm gonna chill here. Low battery. So like I get, I don't know, like a month or two later, I get a text message from her from WhatsApp, or just a text message. And she's like, oh, we moved to Russia, and she was asking me all these questions, and she's like, we're gonna live here permanently. so on and so forth. And then I was like, okay, that was weird, but you know, I said, okay, I wish you nothing but the best, so on and so forth. And then that restaurant closed down. They opened up another one. Then this summertime, I decided to go back to like Nor Aleppo and Noon, which is owned by the same Syrian Armenians. And she sees me and she's like, hey, I'm back. And I was like, oh my goodness. She offered me all these drinks. She's like, it's on the house. I'm like, no. But what I mean is, like, I find it weird how people go in and out. Like, I understand everybody has their own situations in life. More alcohol and cheese for me.
Ալարջան, շնորհավոր տարի, նոր տարի, խաղաղության տարի եղնի, առողջության տարի եղնի ու լիքը բարձունքների հասնելու տարի եղնի։ Ես էլ քնքուշնել մեր ամբողջ կազմակազմը քեզի շնորհավոր եկը, մենք քեզի շատ սիրենք ու կհարգենք։ Ալարջան, 5 շաբթի արի, որ նույնիսկ եթե այստեղ ես չլինեմ, մեր հարազատ աշխատակիցը ստեղ է, ինքը գիտե գումարը քեզի կուտա։